For those of you who haven't picked up on it yet in the channel, I am the emotional hoarder. All of this is going into this bag. It's giveaway. Okay, so for those of you who haven't picked up on it yet in the channel, I am the emotional hoarder. That's why I'm doing this, because I need to do it. It's not because it comes naturally to me or because I'm all set and my house is great and I've got my stuff under control. I'm doing this channel and I'm doing the whole thing, because it's kind of a journey for me and I'm trying to figure it out. So I just went through all of the kids' clothes, almost. I think I've got maybe one tote left. But my oldest is 5. Some of this stuff I've had since I was pregnant with him 6 years ago. And most of it was hand-me-downs. There were a few gifts. I am really shocked at how much clothing I'm actually getting rid of that I thought was sentimental just like a year ago. I don't know if it's because I was pregnant at the time or postpartum, if there were emotions going on that I'm okay now, like I'm kind of free of. We do plan to have more babies, and that gives me like this, I don't know, it feels so good to not, it almost frees me up from some of the sentimentality of the things that really don't have meaning. It used to be I would pull something out that was tiny that maybe he wore, but I didn't even remember it at all until I saw it. And it would be like, oh, I have to keep this. He touched it when he was a baby, you know? I don't know if you guys feel that way, if anyone else, I'm sure you guys, a lot of people do. A lot of moms do. And I'm keeping several things in case we have a boy, or just because there are a few things I really feel sentimental about. But there are so many things that I don't. And so many things were passed down from Leah's son, who is, 9 now. And some of those things were hand-me-downs to him. So some of these things are like 10 plus years old. And some of them, even ones that aren't that old, I've actually pulled out and they have dry rotted in just a few years' time, just waiting for the next kid. Because like I said, I had a boy and then 2 girls. So it's been a while that a lot of boys' clothes never got used. And years passed, and I thought that my sentiment was gonna grow, and some things the sentiment has like deepened a little bit, and other things I have like zero attachment to, and I'm really surprised about that. But it's helped me a lot seeing a lot of these clothes that honestly could be used from a thrift store. Someone could buy them and use them for their child right now. But if I keep them for the next baby, even like another year goes by, it could be past their life because they are deteriorating that quickly. And honestly, that's kind of okay, because if they get one more use, one more kid, that's okay. But I don't want to hold on to them and have them be totally useless to me and everyone else. So I just thought I'd share that because, yeah, it's easy for me to go thrift clothes now for my children, and I'm just not worried about hanging on to all this stuff. And I emptied like an entire tote and was able to consolidate several different things, and to move and have that be gone is just a really good feeling. So it's kind of a lot of stuff, and I'm hoping maybe I'll get some more out. And it just feels good because I really do, sometimes I let go of things for practicality, but my heart is still like, it tugs a little bit still. And it gets easier as you go, but none of this is tugging. And I think part of that is because I know that we're gonna have more babies, and it's not about the stuff. And I have pictures of them wearing it, and I have my babies with me. So a lot of these things, I just don't need tubs and tubs of physical reminders of the memories, because I do have the memories. And that's easy enough to say, but the fact that I actually feel that way, I think shows a lot of growth for me. And I think even just the fact that we're moving, I thought it was gonna get worse, because I have sentiment attached to this house and all the experiences we've had here as a family. But there's this deep sense of adventure and freedom and like, let's clean, let's get stuff out. And what do we want to move? What do we want to have in our new house and our new life later on with our children? And I'm finding that not just logically, but emotionally, a lot of this stuff just doesn't, it's not meaningful to me like I thought it was going to be. So, and it's not just like rage purging. The baby clothes, like I just thought I am keeping some things. So it's like, it's not like I'm just like, no babies, you know. I'm just glad that I feel this way. Not just that I think this way and I know that this is logic. I genuinely have, I have like let go of some very unnecessary and perceived attachment, I think, to things. So that's really encouraging for me and hopefully to you too. I was wrong. I was actually able to free up and consolidate 2 whole totes. So that's awesome. And we do plan on using these probably for our pantry stuff because we were not able to just clean out. We have a bunch of food storage items. That is a decision that we have made that we want to do, but now it's like we have to move with it. So I'm probably going to be putting a lot of our dry pantry goods in these and moving this stuff to, I might do like black garbage bags and vacuum them out to get the air out, kind of like a, you know, the vacuum seal bags. I've seen that you can DIY those, so I'll see how that goes. And then I might just throw a bunch of them in a cardboard box. We'll see how that goes. But yeah, I've freed up 2 whole totes, and you know, there's more giveaway than I even showed in the pile. So I'm tired, but I'm feeling pretty good. The room is an absolute disaster. It's okay though, because it's all work in progress. This isn't the way it normally is, and I've actually accomplished a ton for basically day 2 officially of moving out. So stay tuned. Okay, I have out my 5-year-old's reading lesson book, our devotions, and my Bible that we do devotions with. I have just a few pieces of paper and crayons for them and some rocks we're taking to my parents' house to paint. These are empty. This is all empty. And that needs to be cleaned out because it had Play-Doh in it. Okay, this is my kitchen rag drawer. Paper towel, or cloth napkins, washcloths, rags for dusting and stuff, a few tablecloths, dish towels, everything. And I've been meaning to go through this for years now, honestly. It's been a while and I've been meaning to reorder because my washcloths are just about like end of their life. They weren't nice to begin with. So what I'm gonna do is just take the nice stuff that I'm planning on keeping. I'm gonna wrap breakables in it and pack it. And I'm gonna leave the stuff that's just not nice enough to move. And I'm just gonna keep it here to clean with. And then I'll just throw them out at the end. And then when we move wherever, whenever, as soon as we find a place, I will feel free to order what I need to, because that's what I've needed to do for at least 2 years now anyway. So that's the plan. And of course, to minimalize some of these tablecloths and just everything. Just get rid of some of it. Well, this is the situation in the kitchen. I think it's day 5. It's Monday. We started on Thursday. Is that right? Yep, day 5. Okay, we have 3 boxes of kitchen stuff packed so far. I'm using a tote for some pantry stuff with a towel in the bottom. I've got all this to go through. It's from the pantry and the cabinets, and most of that is giveaway. So I'll show a picture when I get the box packed with giveaway stuff. I'm gonna hopefully fill it up. I have 2 of these. I'm not gonna move with these. These are ridiculous packaging, so I'm gonna put these in mason jars to move, stuff like that. So I'm just gonna get some of that busy work done. So far I have this cabinet done and taped, this one over here, and this one up here. And here's the chaos. I have this whole side of the pantry cleaned and taped up. If you have any candles, go ahead and burn them before you move. That's what I'm doing. Well, packing's going pretty well. I honestly had no idea how much stuff I had accumulated outside, like plant pots that were worth keeping around in me because I do use them and I put a lot of plants in them and I propagate things and I plant seeds, but most of these pots aren't worth packing and taking with us to, well, really it's just packing it in a pod until we find a house. We don't even have a house. If we were just going directly to a house, I think that there would be a lot of things that I would be willing to store for like a day when we moved. But because we don't even have a house and we're going to live with my parents for a while we're still looking, there's just things that I'm not willing to pay to store. So a lot of those outdoor items that you don't have at an apartment, just because we have a yard and we have a garage, those have become kind of a little bit, they're just kind of becoming monstrous tasks in my mind. But the yard is pretty okay. I've kind of cleared the yard. I think the garage is just gonna be a big deal. And we just had built a little house for all the lawn equipment and everything. And for some reason that's stressing me out a little bit because I just feel like it's a bunch of stuff to store, and it's reasonable to have a house and have a lawnmower and like a weed eater and a blower and stuff. But now that we're having to store it and we don't have a house to go to, it's like, why did we even buy these things? Which is ridiculous. Of course, I feel like we're gonna have to get 2 pods just to fit our yard equipment and garage stuff in, which seems insane to me. But just kind of thoughts I'm having as we're packing, because we have all these random things I didn't really think about before. At least we don't have anything in the attic. We have 0 items in the attic. Actually, the attic hole access is barely big enough to even fit a box through. So I guess that's a mercy. Okay, we have more stuff that I am getting rid of. We don't really use this kind of thing anymore. Alex kept these for when he was working at an office and if there was an emergency and he had to get to work anyway. So not really relevant anymore. This is just a vacuum cleaner part. We don't have the vacuum anymore and I didn't know we had that. So that was in the kitchen drawer and I thought it was still relevant. It's not, it's over in our lives. We're not using that anymore. So this is a completely unused tub shroom. It did not work with our bathtub because we have like a permanent bathtub drain that doesn't come out and we weren't gonna replace that. So hopefully someone can use this because it's never been used before and I think they're really helpful. I have 3 pie dishes that 2 pie dishes that I actually use constantly. So I'm sad to get rid of these. Alex said we could replace them when we get a new house because the blue glass, I'm just really iffy about the dye in them and the toxicity levels. I just don't really see that going well. So I have one that is just clear glass that I'm gonna keep, and I'm gonna replace those 2 with clear glass in the future. And I have just a pair of socks that are worn out that just are too thin and stretched out to be used anymore, kids socks, and a pair of my son's shorts that I loved. And I think someone can get use out of them, but if I save them for the next kid, honestly, I don't think they'll last that long because they're kind of old. And a cracked pot that I found in the garbage that I really liked, but I'm just not gonna move with it. It just doesn't make sense. And my favorite ceramic covered cast iron tea kettle with the mesh inserts. This is a sad one for me and I've had this probably 12 or 13 years. I'm just really dubious, to be honest, of all ceramic covered cast iron now. And I don't know if I mentioned this on the channel yet, but I have had now a hair mineral trace analysis test done and it did show heavy metals of most kinds. And I'm just not gonna mess around with like lead or cadmium or anything like that. I touched on that a little bit in my kitchen declutter video. But yeah, those are things that are going, and I'm gonna show you guys the car too when it's all packed up with the giveaway stuff. It's kind of a lot. The car is full. So I'm in the kitchen and it's just going slowly. I've been packing the kitchen up for like 4 or 5 days now. Granted, this is only day 7 or 8 of packing, but the kitchen is it's just taking so long. And I'm not just doing the kitchen. I'm going back and forth and doing other stuff too. I am doing like, I'm honestly probably not multitasking. I'm probably multitasking too much and not focusing enough. But the kitchen's so annoying because I'm using so many things daily still, because we're not trying to eat out all the time. We're still gonna be here for like a couple more weeks, and there are just so many breakables. So the kitchen is just very difficult to do. I was at a really good pace. I think I said at the beginning that I needed to be doing like at least 5.5 boxes packed a day, according to Google. You're supposed to do like 10 boxes per room plus an extra 10. That's the average they give. So I figured we needed like to do that with the math, with the days that I have to pack 5.5 boxes a day. And I was doing like 10, 11, 12 the first few days. And now I'm just stuck at like 2 a day. Now we have not bought as many boxes as I thought we would have to, and we're not even done filling them at all yet. So I think we're actually in pretty good shape as far as our stuff goes. I would still like to get rid of more in the future, but as I was packing everything, I was really surprised in a good way with how few things we had in some ways, and then in other ways I was like, you know what, looking back, maybe I shouldn't have packed that thing. Maybe I should have like thought about it more critically and gotten rid of it. Do I really want to pay to store it? But it's like, it's kind of too late at this point. And I don't know. It's just a process, and it's going to continue to be. I'm not going to be a perfect minimalist all of a sudden just because we're packing and moving, because I do have a deadline. So just letting you know how it's going. I'm in the kitchen, and it's it's not ideal. It's not actually that bad though. And I've said before, I think these are empty. I have a few papers and crayons in there for the kids just for until we move. And I have this entire thing empty and tape on it. And this one up here and down there is also empty. I have tape on a drawer, cabinet, another cabinet, over here, up here. I don't have tape, but this is empty and this is empty. And I have cleared a lot of this stuff out, and I'm just keeping out silverware because we're still eating around here. So a lot of progress has been made, and it's almost like the majority of the kitchen is done, but I almost feel stuck because we're still eating and living here. So I'm just gonna keep packing away as much as I can, just chipping away at the stuff. And hopefully I can be even more critical as I go. I'm trying to really, really assess the usage and the need and what we actually want in our lives. And I'm trying to picture, it's hard because we are selling our house, our home. We're gonna go live with my parents for a minute. I don't know how long, and that's tough. And we don't have a home to go to. Like, if we had our dream house picked out, or even any house at all, and I could picture it and know what I was getting into, I feel like I would be able to be a lot more critical of what I want to take with us and what I want to store and the space that we're going into. I could visualize it and I could really prepare for that. And instead, I'm stuck with this big fat question mark, and it's really been a struggle for me mentally, just, and even emotionally. Like, where am I gonna be with my family? How is my kitchen gonna look? What am I gonna want in it? It's been a tough process, and I think it's harder to minimalize because of that. I'm kind of like cutting more things, but in a way I'm saving more things, because like, what if I do want it for that scenario? I don't know what's coming. So Anyway, just sharing my thoughts, my process. I don't really have a good solution for that. I'm not trying to give sage wisdom or advice for your move, because this is a learning process for me. It's the first time I've moved out of a house, and I don't know if I was prepared for just all of the things I'm having to think through. And anyway, if you have suggestions, you know what to do. Leave them in the comments, please. I will read all of them. I got a lot of kids' books out, a few art supplies that I haven't used in years, to try to simplify my art so that I could actually do art again. Some random stuff that we just don't need, a lot of jars, kitchen stuff, some games, some plastic snack cups that I used a lot, but I really am trying to get away from plastic with the kids, and it's a good opportunity because I'm in between babies right now. Some stuff that Leah gave me that I gave her. It just we need to stop the cycle. So a mixology set. It's a lot, and it feels pretty good. Also not pictured that I'm getting rid of are a lot of blankets that we're gonna use for packing up. I have some other packing stuff to do, but I have been in the kitchen for so long that I'm realizing that I think I just need to get out of the kitchen and get to a different location to inspire motivation. And it's helping already, I think, because I have a more clear motivation in this room. So I'm gonna stick in the living room for a little bit and finish up the kids' toys. I'm almost done. We finally got big boxes. Alex got some bigger boxes so that I can pack up their doll houses, which are large. And then I can just put everything else in. So hopefully I can knock that out, and then I'll be done with the toys completely and move on and just finish up the kitchen as much as I can while we're still living here. It's a mess, all right. It's going in there, so we'll see how it goes, and hopefully it'll make the house a little bit cleaner as well. I'm at an awkward stage, not just because my hair is super greasy, but I'm at the stage where I have boxes that I can't really fit much more into, but there is some space. So I'm having to keep a lot of them open just for the end, because I might have random little things I need to slide in there. Because something can go in there, but I don't have anything at this exact moment that fits. And I have like 3 boxes that are open right now that are in that position. And I know I'm gonna find random stuff, and I don't wanna have a whole new box just for the random little items that I know I have room for in here. You know what I mean? By the way, this is from my grandparents' house. It's a wooden moose head that goes on the wall. Isn't that wonderful? It's one of my favorite things, and I can't wait to put it in the kids' room someday. So normally we have a tapestry here that I got from the thrift store for $10. It's really cute, and I like it. Because we have some damage here. It's just needed to be repaired and repainted and everything. So I just put the tapestry over it, since our walls are actually too thin to hang anything on. And because I packed that up, it's like, it's one of those things that just makes it all feel really real. Like, it's fast approaching. We're just almost out of the house, even though, like, I know it looks crazy and it looks like we're not close, but when we get the pod, it'll be like pretty fast. We'll be out. And it's just something that's been here for like 2 years, so seeing it gone and that wall with the paint and everything is just crazy.